Thank you, and good morning. I'm Molly Rauch, the Public Health Policy Director for Moms Clean Air Force. We're an organization of over 1 million moms and dads fighting to protect clean air for the sake of our children's health. Today is a critical day in the Senate. The methane CRA resolution is a major step toward reinstating vital clean air and climate protections. So make no mistake, this vote is a vote on our children's health and a vote on their future. As you've heard, methane is a potent climate pollutant. It's accelerating climate change, and it's leaking from the oil and gas sector at the rate of more than 16 million metric tons each year, the equivalent of the climate pollution from all of the nation's passenger vehicles in a year. Climate change is a health crisis, not in some distant future, but right now, when extreme storms can trigger massive power outages, when smoke from record-breaking wildfires can poison the air of millions across the West, when severe heat waves regularly threaten public health, preying especially on older adults, pregnant women, and low-income communities, we need methane standards back in place right now to reduce dangerous climate pollution. But this isn't just a climate problem. Pollution emitted alongside methane, such as benzene, increases the risk of cancer, immune system damage, neurological and developmental problems, low birth weight babies, preterm birth, and birth defects. 1 in 3 people in the U.S. lives in a county with oil and gas production, and over 17 million live within 1 mile of an active oil or gas well. Methane and other oil and gas pollutants also contribute to ground level ozone, or smog. Smog is a lung irritant. It triggers asthma attacks, and it increases lung infections. The methane CRA will help us achieve common sense pollution protections to reduce these health risks. And these risks are not equally distributed. Black, Indigenous, and Latino communities are disproportionately exposed to dirty air, including harmful pollution from oil and gas. We need environmental justice. We need climate justice. Every child has the right to breathe clean air and the right to a stable climate. In my work with moms, I bear witness every day to the real-life human health impacts of pollution from the oil and gas industry in communities across the country. For example, Patrice Tomchik's children go to school in southwestern Pennsylvania, near gas wells located about a half mile from their campus. Patrice worries about the harmful air pollutants her children may be exposed to from these wells when they attend school or play outdoor sports, especially for her youngest son, who is a cancer survivor and immune compromised. Parents can't control the air our children breathe. We depend on our leaders in Congress to do their jobs and protect our children. Today, the Senate has the chance to do just that. Moms and dads want climate action, and we want our leaders to stand up for our children's health. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
So, one of the things that the leader touched just really briefly on, that is the reason why this is such a powerful action, is because methane, unlike CO2, will not stay in the atmosphere for centuries. Methane will break down over the course of a decade or so. So if we take this action today, we take a huge amount of the warming activity in the atmosphere out of the atmosphere in the short term and buy ourselves time to fix the CO2 problem that we have to fix as well. So even though we're not putting nearly as much methane in the atmosphere as we're putting CO2, this really gives us a chance to take an action that is a huge part of the solution to how we keep everything below 1.5 degrees C.
Point well taken. Thank you, Martin. Questions on this subject first? Yes.
Just in general on gas, does the fuel have a future in the country's energy mix?
Well, look, we want to get to zero emissions. 2030 is cutting them in half, but zero. Some plans 2035, some 2040, some 2045. And we have to use every way we can to get to that level. Any other questions on this subject? Okay, we'll take a few off topics. Yes.
Leader, talk to me
Story
about
of my
how
life.
President Biden is going to sell the American family plan to the American people tonight.
Well, I don't think he has to sell it to the American people. The parts of that plan are overwhelmingly popular. Pre-K is overwhelmingly popular. Paid family and sick leave is overwhelmingly popular. Helping child care is overwhelmingly popular. Free community college is overwhelmingly popular. What the public has to do and we have to do is sell it to some of our Republican colleagues. If you ask the Republican voter, there is far more support for these provisions, like the same with the ARP, than there is among the Republican senators. And that's a dichotomy we hope will change.
Senator Schumer,
Yes.
have you made the decision yet on whether you're going to move ahead with revising the 2021 budget resolution, and what's your timeline for doing that, given the American Jobs Plan is waiting?
Well, we have lots of other things to do. The budget resolution has to move forward, and we're going to have to do many things at once. I would remind you that people were skeptical when we took office, our majority, that we could get three big things done at once: cabinet, impeachment, ARP. We did, and we're going to do a lot of more things. We're going to do many more things together. Yes.
I couldn't help but notice your cancel student debt mask.
I'm glad you couldn't help but notice.
I was curious if you're disappointed that canceling student debt wasn't something Biden considered as part of his American Families Plan, and how confident you are that Biden might still take action.
Well,
on that.
we have been talking to them regularly. Some of the major barriers that they had said bothered them. One, that they didn't have legal authority. They clearly do. Second, that it wasn't that if you forgave student debt, it would be taxed. So if you forgave $20,000 in student debt and you were at a 25% tax rate, you'd still pay $5,000 in taxes. We undid that in the ARP, and we're continuing to press. And there's more and more support everywhere I go. People ask for it, and we're going to keep pressing till we get it done. Yes. Well, wait. As someone who hasn't asked one yet? Yes.
So it sounds
I should have called on you. No.
I did mention your speech, by the way. You are holding out reconciliation then as an option for passing this if you're going to move forward on the budget, like you just said. Is that accurate?
Yeah, no decisions have been made, but of course reconciliation is an option. We hope to do as much as we can in a bipartisan way. The water bill today will be bipartisan. I believe the American Competitive Act, which will be marked up a week from Wednesday, is bipartisan. There are other things that can be bipartisan, but obviously we believe a bill has to have strong climate provisions. We believe that the tax code and some of the inequities that the Trump tax cut costs that caused have to be changed. So we will look for bipartisanship wherever we can, but the number one goal is a big, bold plan along the lines of what President Biden has proposed. Okay, last one.
You had mentioned, sir, again, the American Jobs Plan. If it's not sold to the Republicans, will you do it without them?
We have no choice but to move forward. We much prefer to do it with them. Let's hope they'll do it with us. But big, bold action is our number one goal, number one. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Thanks again.
Great, thank you.
Good, thank you.
Thank you for being here.